What's up guys, how's it going? So today we're going to be reviewing this gimbal right here, but also talking about how you can vlog with just a smartphone, whether that's an iPhone or a Samsung. Alright, so this gimbal is called the Vwalker SG3D, and when Vwalker contacted me and said they'd like to send me their gimbal, I was super excited because one of the most common questions I get asked is, what camera should I get to start vlogging when, the truth is if you already have a smartphone, that is a very good start and you can totally make videos and very good vlogs with just a smartphone. And maybe combining your smartphone with maybe some type of stabilizer, maybe this one or any other one, you can really get shots where you'll be like, wow. Alright, so later on in this video, I'm going to talk about some tips, some really big tips for vlogging with a smartphone. It doesn't matter what type of smartphone. But before we get into that, let's talk about the gimbal a bit. First, we're going to do the unboxing, and there's already tons of videos on YouTube that slowly go through what's inside the box. But we want to get to the exciting stuff, which is the tests, the comparisons, so we'll get through the unboxing very quickly. It comes in this pretty rugged hard case, which is completely black. Open it up, here's the manual, which we will toss. No, don't want to toss that, don't want to litter out here in nature. The hand grip, which attaches to the gimbal, the main part. We have a micro USB cord for firmware updates, the battery charger, a cord to strap to the hard case so you can wear it like on your shoulder. This cord mount looking thing, which you'll see later, you use it to mount, to put this on a tripod or a selfie stick and still control the gimbal, and the two LiPo batteries. The setup is super simple. All you do is take out the gimbal part, then you take out the hand grip, which attaches here, screw this on to lock it into place, take off the tail cap, and then place in the two batteries. It almost feels like you're putting batteries in a flashlight. Place those in and then screw this back on. And next up, you just take your smartphone and slide it right into place right there. Now, very important thing to not overlook is to make sure it is balanced. So you want to make sure that the smartphone is somewhat balanced, because if it's not balanced, then the gimbal is going to have to work extra hard to keep the phone stable. So make sure you do that. And as you can see, it is fairly even stable without me even turning it on. Alright, to turn it on, you press this little button on the bottom once, and then the gimbal turns on. Now, the first mode that it always turns on into is follow, so your smartphone will follow the movement of the gimbal. There are 5 little buttons right here. The button in the middle, if you double click that, it changes the mode to pan, so it'll pan with the movement of the gimbal, but it stays even with the horizon, as you can see. And if I press this button 3 times, then it changes to lock. So no matter where I move the gimbal, the phone stays pointing in the direction that it was when I double clicked. And one last thing that I didn't notice when I first got the gimbal is there's this little spinny dial here. It turns up the speed and slows down the speed of the movement of the gimbal. So you can have it on really fast, so it follows your movement really quickly, or you can slow it down for some different types of shots. Alright, now it's on, and the first thing I'm noticing is that not only does it fit an iPhone 5S, but it also fits a Samsung Galaxy S5, which is quite a bit wider than the iPhone, and it still fits it very nicely. By the way, we are borrowing this phone, so we'll take good care of it. The first test is going to be walking through these plants right behind me, just holding the phone in my hands as stable as I can. First without the stabilizer gimbal, and then with it. Here we go. And now with the gimbal. The next test is going to be vlogging with this, because if I want to use this for vlogging, then I gotta see how it feels. This is vlogging with this smartphone. How cool is this? We are making a video, making a vlog with a cell phone. Now that is pretty cool. This is without the gimbal. I'm not sure how shaky or stable this looks. I am trying my hardest to hold this stable. And now we will test vlogging, just that with the gimbal. Hey guys, how's it going? Right now we are vlogging with the 3-axis stabilizer. I'm not sure how stable this looks because I want to stay looking at the camera, because you don't want to look at the screen in a vlog. Look at the camera. How does this look? Look pretty good? Let's check it out. I could see myself vlogging with this all day because it is not too heavy. Let's try orbiting this pile of plants behind me that almost looks like a home of like some type of animal, maybe a cougar, or maybe not a cougar, maybe like a jaguar or a puma. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. let's do the orbit. Oh, this is scary. Well, a jaguar, a puma didn't jump out of there, so yeah, that's a good sign, I would say. Now let's give it a go with the gimbal. Alright, one thing I've noticed is I can move a lot quicker when I have the gimbal. Without the gimbal, I'm like trying to hold it as stable as I can, whereas with the gimbal, I don't even have to think about it too much. Alright, so I just hooked up this cord thing so that I can place this on this monopod that I have. So all this cord does is it goes from the controller, where the batteries and the controllers are, straight to the bottom of the gimbal, which allows me to control the gimbal from a distance. So what I'm thinking is we can get some makeshift drone shots, because we can go really up high, like in the treetops, and get really down low. Let's give it a go. That was not my fault. No problem. Oh, no, no, no. Chill, chill, chill. We're friendly. This is zoomed in with the gimbal. It looks so smooth. It's pretty cool. So with a little bit of creativity, a smartphone, and maybe like a gimbal or something, and a selfie stick, you can actually get some pretty creative shots. Oh my gosh, it is sweaty out today. I mean, it's hot out today. I'm sweaty because of the heat. Okay, so I'm having a problem with the gimbal, and I want to share it with you guys. How do I say this? Okay, so it's a little problem in the design. As you can see, this little clip is very close to this part of the gimbal, and when I put this handle too far sideways, this hits. Bang. It hits and it tilts the phone when I'm not telling it to tilt. As you can see, it hits, it hits. Now, when I'm holding it like this or like this, and I'm not putting the handle super sideways, it works really good. It holds it super stable, but if you're gonna be doing stuff like that, you kind of got to keep an eye on it. I think they could easily fix this in the design of it. All you would have to do is make this come out a little bit further, like a tiny, like a really small amount, and that would totally fix that problem, because it's barely hitting. But the thing is because the Samsung is wider, it pulls this in further, because the clamp needs to open up more, whereas with the iPhone it does hit a significant amount more. Now I'm thinking I could adjust this clamp a little bit and maybe get that to stop hitting, but yeah, that's one of the things I've noticed. Besides that, it does work pretty good. So in a lot of reviews, people talk about what they like and what they love and how the product works so fantastically awesome, but unfortunately, nothing is really perfect. Nothing's as perfect as we'd like it to be. So here are a few things that I think Vwalker could improve on their product. So right now it's good, but here are some things they could improve on. Alright, fix this problem. It is quite irritating kind of having to babysit your gimbal to make sure it doesn't hit and kind of adjust the shot. on its own. Kind of gets a mind of its own once in a while. I'd like to see them get this battery charger down to a smaller size. So these are the two batteries, and this is the charging block. I think this is bigger than it needs to be. I could totally see this being much smaller. So I mean, that does look a little ridiculous. And because like the charger is a little too big, they kind of have to make the carrying case feel a bit bigger, a bit bigger than it needs to be. Because it's so big, you can't really carry this in your backpack. Like you can, but I tried it and it just takes up all the space. So make this a bit smaller. I definitely see wasted space inside of the actual case. Alright, so the battery of the gimbal does last about 30 to 40 minutes, and the price of the entire package is $200. It's like $199 on Amazon at the moment, and I will leave the link in the description in case you want to check it out. But overall, I feel it isn't a bad deal considering there are some gimbals that are like $400 or $500, and that's quite a bit more expensive. But considering you can combine a $200 gimbal with maybe a smartphone, any type of smartphone really that you already have, and then get really smooth shots, it's not a bad deal. That's what I have to say about it. Obviously it's not cheap, but yeah. Alright, I just figured out a solution to that problem. If you remove the clamp and then flip it over and then reinstall your phone, it actually doesn't hit. But the gimbal doesn't come like that, so that's not, I guess, not the smartest of packaging designs. But as you can see, I just fixed that problem. You see, with a little bit of creativity, you can sometimes fix problems that seem unfixable and like it's the end of the world. Let's give it a test. I'm sprinting as fast as I can, so just to give you a sense of how fast I'm moving. That was a good run. Alright, so the tips that I was talking about earlier for maybe you if you want to start vlogging and all you have is a smartphone, or maybe you already started a YouTube channel and you've made a few vlogs and you want some tips to film better videos with your smartphone. Always film sideways, so always film like this. Never film like this. Whenever someone watches a YouTube video, they pretty much always have their device like this, so it takes up the whole screen. And even if you have your device like this, it's usually because you want to watch the video up here and be reading the comments or looking at other videos at the same time. So never film like this. Like never ever. Film in at least HD, which is high definition, 720p. That's a pretty standard quality for video, and most smartphones these days can film in 1080p, which is full HD, FHD, and yeah, you usually can go into your settings and choose what type of quality you're filming at. Try to make more of an effort to keep your phone stable and smooth. So what I mean is, don't be like, I'm here and I'm there and I'm blah, blah, blah. Like, it gets old after a very short amount of time. Your viewers will be like, this is way too crazy, I get way too dizzy, I'll just watch something else. Whereas if you take the extra time to be nice and smooth and fluid and not be like making jerky movements, then your fans will thank you big time. Trust me, I learned that lesson the hard way when I was starting out. Those are just a few tips for those of you that maybe only have a smartphone and you want to start making videos or vlogs. And remember, you can always upgrade to a better camera in the future. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you again, Vwalker, for sending me the 3-axis gimbal. I appreciate it a lot. In the past, I never really used my smartphone, but now that I have a gimbal, if my main camera, like this one, were to ever break, I always have a backup where I can use my phone and the gimbal and still make pretty good vlogs with smooth footage. Alright guys, remember to keep always doing awesome stuff, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, early in the morning.